Welcome once again to A Chef Knives to Go Quick Look product review. I'm Steve Gamache, and what we have this time is the Kohetsu wa, or Japanese handled HAP40 Sujihiki or slicing knife, 270 millimeter. This line of knives has a three-layer construction. There's the hardcore cutting edge steel that you can kind of see peeking out from the bottom here. We'll get a close-up look at it. But that is known as HAP40 semi-stainless steel. It's a steel that is treated to a high hardness of 65 Rockwell. They do great heat treat on the, this maker does out of the factory for these things. And the steel is well known for its really high edge retention. So it has great edge retention characteristics, high hardness, yet it's not too bad to sharpen. So it's reasonable to sharpen on good, fairly, good cutting sharpening stones, and you can get a great edge on this thing, and again, it'll last a long time. The construction is a soft stainless cladding wrapped on either side of that core steel, and it goes over the top of the spine as well. In practice, you might find that this cladding does take on a little bit of staining and maybe a light patina, kind of a semi-stainless characteristic or character to it. So just be aware that that could be the case, and it tends to put a nice patina on the entire surface of the knife. So in a pro environment, especially if you've got a high volume, you might find that. So just be aware of that. The weight and dimensions on these should be similar from knife to knife. This one's 115 grams or 4.1 ounces. Again, that's a 270 millimeter knife. It's 4 ounces, folks. So this thing is really, really light. Edge length is right about 270 on the money, or about 10.6 inches. So lots of room there. Overall length is about 16.4 inches or 417 millimeters, and the spine thickness, these will vary just a little bit from knife to knife, but generally they're around that 2 millimeter thickness range. So I got slightly over 2 millimeters at the back and slightly under 2 millimeters at halfway down. And then they do tend to have a little bit of a taper in the spine thickness as you go towards the tip, known as a distal taper. And then these are also pretty thin at the edge as well. You've got a fair amount of stiffness towards the back, and you start to get a little bit of flex towards the front half of the blade, as you might suspect. Blade height is about a little under 41 millimeters at the heel, so you've still got some good clearance there for cutting board duty if need be. The handle is an octagonal ambidextrous hoe wood, which is a lightweight wood with a buffalo horn ferrule. These usually have really nice fit and finish and good, solid, smooth transition between the two materials, and they usually have a nice tight glue up job there where the tang goes into the handle. So just a nice job on these handles, generally speaking. This particular one is 65 millimeters or 2.6 inches in circumference where the two materials meet, which is the appropriate size for this type of knife. Balance point is going to be a little further forward because that wood is light, so it's a light handle. And there's your balance point. Out of the box edges on these tend to be a solid 6, 7 out of 10. So really nice out of the box edges. They've got nice fit and finish as well. Guess let's get our beauty shot here. So let's see, out of the box you'll find that they've got a slight polish and rounding to the spine, and they've got a slight polish and relief on the choil, so it's very comfortable out of the box. These have embossed kanji on them on the right side of the blade as you'd be holding it. You can see the vertical finish marks on it. And they also tend to polish these a little bit and thin them out on the right side of the blade. And then the left side of the blade, they tend to not do that, but you'll see the edge bevel there itself. You can see the cladding line. Try to see if I can show you that kind of a wavy cladding line there. See if we can show you this side as well. So there's your cladding line on these. So just a nice, good fit and finish on these. Here's your handle as far as install goes. These tend to have just a tiny bit of belly on the spine on there. It's not just completely straight across, but close, but just a little bit of belly there. Some people like to use these for general board work as well in a pinch. And obviously they're kind of designed for slicing duties, but here is what it looks like on a cutting board, just in case you're curious. And the heel is tall enough where you can, unless you got really big hands with big fingers, you can probably get away with it, no problem. So just good all-around profile. This would work nicely kind of as a long petty as well if necessary. So just nice solid product offering here. Would work great in a pro environment. If you need a high volume cutting or slicing and you want that edge to last a long time, this is a great steel for that. So this is the Kohetsu wa, or Japanese handled HAP40 Sujihiki 270 millimeter knife.